Welcome to Hi Felicia. Hi Felicia. Hi Felicia.
Felicia, are you comfortable?
I am comfortable.
We're in a new setting.
Yes, we
because
are.
our barbershop music studio dojo is
Occupied
and busy. So Casey is not going to be here. We're going to miss you, Casey. He's here just setting us up for the recording. Casey, you want to just say hi, bye?
Hi, bye.
He's watching Tires. Was it season 2 or 3? He loves it. It's on Netflix.
I heard it was good.
Boys
actually.
love it. I don't think this is for you.
Absolutely not.
Submersible.
Led Zeppelin documentary was great.
Led Zeppelin documentary.
Gotta go.
Bye.
Bye.
Felicia, this is episode 75. What happens on 75 anniversaries?
Do you think I know that?
75 birthdays? Is it like silver gold?
I don't know.
Important?
I don't know. At this point, I'm going to ignore it.
Okay, this is nice sitting on a couch and it's like we're having a conversation.
True.
This is how Kristen Bell's character in Nobody Wants This records her podcast.
Right.
In Nobody Wants This with our girl Jackie, her podcast with her sister, right? Justine.
Right.
They sit on a couch and they have a conversation.
Well, that's very nice.
And that's what a lot of What's going on with your eye? Is your eye okay? Your right
weird.
eye.
My right eye. What does it look like?
It feels weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. Oh shit! No,
I was just there.
It doesn't look bad, but like I'm sensing some redness and like it's not fully opened. You guys, this is what happens when you do a podcast with old yentas. I'm just kidding, Mom. I love you. Are you going to be able to drive?
But I hope. Yeah. I mean, I drove here with no problem.
But did you feel this way earlier before we went to the store to buy my son a little bus gift for camp?
No.
He leaves tomorrow, and school just ended today. It is the longest school year ever.
Does it really feel that way?
Ever. It should be illegal to have school till June 27th. Literally, the 4th of July is in like 5 days. Like, give the kids a little beat. Give the teachers a beat. I got to give it up for all the teachers. I just want to give you guys kudos, a shout out. A lot of my friends are teachers. A lot of my neighbors are teachers. My son, I hope his teacher's listening. He told her she changed his life and that he had the best year of his life. Mrs. Andy Shore, thank you. We are going to miss you terribly. I send my child to sleepaway camp because I can't entertain them all the time during the summer. I don't know how the teachers do because now they're home. A lot of them don't send their kids to camp because they don't work. And it's a lot. It's a lot. So you guys, you all did a great job. You know who I'm talking to, my teacher friends. I think it's really hard being a teacher.
It is
I think
hard.
it's so hard. Like, I don't like children. I only like my own. All right. Last week, I had a lot of celebrity sightings. I had a big moment this week. I worked an event for Meta. Do you know what Meta is?
I did not know. I mean, I've heard of it.
Meta is Facebook.
So Meta became. So why aren't they calling it Meta? A Facebook.
They wanted it
Meta
because basically now Meta owns Instagram, Threads, Facebook. Like they just
who
own
owns
everything.
Meta?
Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know if you can consider him like the owner of Meta, but I'm sure he's like behind Meta.
Why they name it Meta? META.
Because it just sounds so meta.
I wonder if they're what do they call it? An acronym, like for a bunch of other words.
Yeah, I mean they own everything: Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Messenger. Basically, I helped produce, stage managed, all hands for a Pride book fair at the Altman Building in New York City, and had some fun moments. I escorted Bob the drag queen, who won RuPaul's Drag Race, but was also on The Traitors. He was on a panel. Basically, there were panelists, authors.
Did I see him on the? Oh, I think I saw him on The Traitors.
Yes, you did, because when you stopped watching, he was still on.
Right.
He got bounced pretty quick. Felicia's phone is making noise. Ellen, Mahjong Thursday. Do you have a group chat called Mahjong Thursday? I love that. Who was smart enough to rename that group? I know you're not. Okay, back to Bob the drag queen. He has got a book out. Every celebrity that was there spoke on a panel and then had a book signing. There were so many books. This was such a lovely event in the heat wave. It was air conditioned.
Well, they were inside.
We were inside until 300 people showed up for Bob the drag queen because people love him. He was very funny. I quickly made him stand up and shift him to the book signing table. He was very nice. Also big for me, Jennifer Beals was there. She was promoting a book that she's behind. She was like a photographer, and she took a lot of pictures when she was on set of The L Word.
Why don't you tell them what Jennifer Beals was on?
Well, if my listeners don't know who Jennifer Beals, then that's sad, because the intern who was 24 had no idea who Jennifer Beals was. But if you're an older millennial side of things, Flashdance.
Right, original.
But I loved The L Word. You loved The L Word.
I loved The L Word.
She looked amazing. Classy woman. She took pictures with every single person in line. I did get a coffee table book of the L Word. She did sign it. She was so lovely. I'm such a fan. I feel like when I watched the L Word, I tried to be a lesbian for like a day. Do you remember when I went to the Cubby Hole? The Cubby Hole is a lesbian bar in Manhattan, which I heard is no longer a lesbian bar because the gay men have taken over the Cubby Hole. I really tried to be a lesbian. I tried. I went to the Cubby Hole. I just screamed straight. Apparently all the women just knew I was straight. But
Really?
yeah, they all
That's
knew I
funny.
was straight. I don't even remember who I went with. But I remember it was the day after New Year's Eve. I went the next day. I just love the L Word. I watched the real L Word. And I just love it. It's got a real cult following. Then I also ran into Margaret and Lexi from Real Housewives of New Jersey. They were there as guests. They weren't
No
like
books.
they're
They're
not
not ready.
gay. They can't be in the Pride Book Fair
Oh,
panels.
that's true. That's true.
Right? They were like supporting.
Oh, that's nice.
And I went up to Margaret. I was with a coworker of mine who knew Margaret anyway, and she could not have been nicer. She was so friendly. She was like, let's take a selfie. Lexi is her like assistant / friend on the show. They both looked amazing. Margaret she couldn't have been kinder. She was like, are you going to the after party? Oh my God. Darren, not to you. I shouted out your name because, I wanted Margaret to feel that like I knew the
Something.
people. I know a lot of the crew, but I didn't remember exactly what crew I knew. I think my boy Safa used to shoot on New Jersey, but like I know a lot of crew people from Long Island Medium that did Housewives. So that was a really fun
Event.
day. It was. My legs still hurt from it.
Really?
I don't know why. I did 10,000 steps in one room, in one building. I mean, I moved around a lot, but it was awesome. So before we get into the Hollywood news, what happened for you this week?
I was holding back telling you I'm in a Bocce League.
Stop it right now. Mic drop.
You know what bocce ball is, right?
Yes.
I've never played it, and every time I visit Karen in Naples,
Let my people go.
they're always, I'm there for a week, so they have a whole thing going on, and they say, Felicia, play. I go, I'm not playing with you guys. I don't know how to play, and I don't want to ruin a
Explain
game.
how you play.
Well, there's a little ball, it's called a Palladino. I said, why can't you just call it the little ball? I don't know what, and then there is big, I can't really explain it, but we have a team of 8 women, including Karen. Karen runs it, our team.
Karen runs it. Karen,
Yes,
you are like
because-
the mayor of
but
Country Point.
because she-
Why do you say Ellen's the mayor? I think Karen is the mayor.
No, Ellen is the mayor.
Is Ellen on Bocce League?
She's on a different bocce. She does,
Oh.
yes, but Ellen is the mayor. Well, I say she's the mayor because where she lives, her balcony. When they're sitting out there, I call it the windows of the world because she says everybody walking into the clubhouse and everybody.
Okay,
Anyway,
Karen, thank you, Karen, for getting Felicia. Are you moving your body by playing bocce?
well, not really, but Karen
You
did
push
not.
like a ball in, right?
No, you throw it.
You throw it.
But
That's moving
it's
your
almost
arm.
it's almost like bowling, but with
a small ball.
I really didn't understand it, and I just say, just tell me when to get up, and the girls were explaining it, and I didn't do bad. We played 3 men or 4 men, I forget.
Wait, men?
Yeah, I was actually
You played
surprised.
with men?
Not with. There was a team that was against us.
Men.
Yes.
This is amazing.
Yes.
It's not like men are in the mahjong teams.
No. This
the
is
rummy
just the
cube. You
bocce
were playing
thing.
against men.
Yeah.
Did the men obviously win? Did
What?
the men win?
No, we won.
You beat the men?
Yes.
This is
shocking.
Amazing.
Shocking.
This says something to the Plainview women.
Now,
70
understand.
and above beating men.
Karen, who was obviously supposed to go, but
proud
she
of you.
didn't feel well yesterday.
Oh, no.
So she did not. And I kept thinking, oh my
You're
God.
never how are you going to do this without Karen?
Right. That's what I was thinking.
And you guys won without
But we won.
her? And
yes.
without her.
And then and then immediately one of the girls texted Karen, we won, which is pure
Were
shocking.
the men, did they have good sportsmanship? Or were they like,
Yeah, they were okay.
were their egos
I don't
crushed?
know. I don't know them well. And I only knew one man's name. I don't really know
are
them.
these married men?
Yes.
There's not a single man in that
there's
building.
not one single, not
You're
that I know of.
I'll say this. I've said this before. Only married men will live there because their wives are going to make them live there. If they're divorced or widowed, they're not moving in there by themselves.
Probably
they're
not.
not spending that money.
And most men at a certain age, if they're settled in their house, they're not moving out.
right, like Daddy would.
Daddy would have
Daddy
never,
would have
never, ever,
If Daddy
ever.
was still alive.
We'd be back. We'd still be in Oceanside.
Oh boy.
Unless I
Look
would
at
have
you.
a complete I don't know what. I don't know if I could have
Now
made
you're
him.
winning bocce leagues, playing
Well,
mahjong.
so we're playing. Yeah,
I think you're like secretly sporty.
I'm not secretly sporty. Maybe when I was younger, I could.
Did you play sports as a teen?
Not really, but I was good at it. I mean, I was good at dance. You know that.
You were a dancer.
Yes.
This is very. Thank you for saving that little.
That's why I saved it. I was dying to tell you and call you.
I'm so proud of you.
But I said, save it.
Save it for the pod.
Save it for the pod.
All right, then let's get into some Hollywood news. I did make this announcement a few months ago that Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson are going to do a show for Apple, a comedy called like Brothers, okay? They're mid-filming, okay? They filmed many episodes. They filmed 8 out of 10 and they shut it down.
Why?
Showrunner creative differences bounced. That's a big fucking deal.
That is a big deal.
If they shot 8 episodes in Texas.
I wonder if they could sue the showrunner. They've got 8 in the can already.
They have 8 in the can. David West Reed, he left over creative differences.
Creative differences between, I'm sure, Matthew and...
I don't know. And what's wild is I think they're playing themselves in this comedy. I'm looking forward to it. You saw Ransom Canyon.
I didn't really watch the whole...
Oh, it got picked up for another season, which
Why?
I'm excited.
Okay.
It was very enjoyable.
Okay.
And I'll get into the Waterfront, but we'll talk about that. But I'm now into all these, I'm just going to say entertaining shows where I don't have to stress out.
Did you notice on Netflix they changed the platform? The way
The interface.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. And I think I said this. They changed it a few weeks ago.
No, but they changed. I
Maybe
put
it's
it on
rolling out.
yesterday.
Maybe it's rolling out
I just
slowly.
like, what the hell is that? Yeah, they changed it.
Interesting, because I don't think that's hit me yet. Because I don't see a change.
Oh, well, we'll have to put it on after
now
this.
I'm curious. Paramount Plus is now Paramount Plus Premium.
Oh,
Why? Have you
because
seen that?
Karen is looking for Poker Face to watch Poker
That's
Face.
on Netflix.
No, it's not.
Peacock?
With
Natasha.
yeah, it's not on Netflix. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's on Peacock. It was never on Paramount.
She got me so confused. She goes, "I'm paying for Paramount Plus just so." I went, "I don't know if it's on Paramount Plus, but it's on Peacock."
Yeah, it's on Peacock.
I'll let her know.
Let her know. But it had to do something with Showtime. So now they're calling it Premium. God. You're going to love this. You're going to say you don't care. Fear Factor. You remember who used to host Fear
I don't
Factor?
care. Right, where they eat stuff and
But
do.
do you remember who hosted Fear Factor?
I don't.
Now
Who?
he's a gajillionaire
Who
because he's got the number one podcast in the world. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has a podcast. He's got the number one male podcast in the world.
Really? Why?
Where
What
have
is
you
so
been?
fascinating about him?
He started out years ago before
well,
it was huge, like with
okay.
Mark Maron. Not with Mark Maron, like Mark Maron. And he just speaks his mind, and his had Trump was on it. Like, it's a big podcast. Anyway, the new host of Fear Factor, Johnny Knoxville.
Oh,
Which makes sense.
yeah, that does make sense.
Good
that
for
makes
Johnny.
sense.
Let him
Yeah,
still
that makes
work.
sense. That makes sense.
Okay, I'm glad. Did you hear that Aaron Sorkin is writing and directing The Social Network Part 2?
That will be good.
I cannot
I love Aaron
wait.
Sorkin.
It's based on the Facebook files. It's based on articles. There's so much that has happened in the world of Mark Zuckerberg. The question is, will they get Jesse Eisenberg back? Now, I hope they do, but Jesse does not like Mark. Because Mark fully like shifted. He was like pro-Dem, but now he's like pro-Trump. But
Is he?
Yeah. Also, like he was all about fact-checking, and then Mark pulled the fact-checking. So Jesse Eisenberg has come out publicly that he does not agree with Mark Zuckerberg's ways.
So maybe he won't do it. Who knows?
So that would make me
I guess,
sad.
but if they throw
there's
enough
so
money
much
at him,
that has
they
changed.
might.
And there's been whistleblowers, and there's a book actually I want to read about the Facebook whistleblowers. So I really am looking forward to this. Now, I believe David Fincher directed Social Network, but Sorkin is going to direct this.
Nope, can't be bad.
And Lilo and Stitch 2 is already in development because it fucking killed. Which is interesting because the movie I saw last weekend with Lennon and his friend, we saw Ilio, the new Pixar movie.
Right.
Great time for me to nap. I had a lovely nap. Lennon enjoyed the movie, but it didn't do well in the box office. And they're saying
Because everybody thinks it's going to eventually come to streaming.
No. But look what did so well. Lilo and Stitch fucking killed, Mom. That beat Mission Impossible. Memorial Day weekend. What they were saying was, Hollywood thinks everybody wants original stories, but they don't. Inside Out 2 killed it. Lilo and Stitch is a known story.
And what did Lennon see today?
He saw How to Train a Dragon. Thank you to my neighbor for taking
Which
him.
I would have loved to have taken to that.
Oh, I'm so
But that's okay.
Sorry.
I'm sure I'll get to see
You would have
it.
taken him to that
Well, if we had time, yes.
today. You would have
Maybe. Yeah.
really. So yeah, that's the big updates. Let's get into circumcised gems. What we watched this week. Now, I want to preface it with this. I spoke to you yesterday at 2:05 p.m. and I said, Felicia, first of all, Karen picked up the phone. They were on their way back from Karen's colonoscopy. Mom, everyone, I've gotten colonoscopies and I'm not even of the age yet. How old are you supposed to be now? 50 or 40 now?
I think 40. 40 or 45.
Casey hasn't gotten a colonoscopy, though.
Well, he's not Jewish. It's only so it's apparently
Jewish and 40. You get a colonoscopy.
You get a colonoscopy because all the Jews who are 40 have terrible stomachs.
I say, Fel, have you started the bear? And she yells at me, no, I don't have time. I've started it. Da, 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 da. And I said, all right, I just want you to know I started it today. Mom, how many episodes of The Bear have you watched?
Well, there are 10. I got up to 9.
Which is fucking insane because yesterday at 2 o'clock, you hadn't even started
when
it.
I got home, I did put it on, and the first 3 episodes, I kind of fell asleep.
Did you rewatch or no?
No, I didn't because it wasn't. But when I got to the 4th episode, when I woke up and really put my mind, so far 4 to 9 have been really good.
I'm very happy you said that because I was worried. I don't want to spoil it because it literally just dropped.
Right.
So I'm not going to give any big spoilers, but I want to say this. I thought episode 1 was great. Episode 2 and 3 are slow.
Right, which
It's
is why
slow,
I
which is why you fell
asleep.
But there's something about this that I am thoroughly enjoying.
Do you find they're showing the close-ups of everybody's face?
Very tight.
Yes.
Very tight.
Why? You get to see everybody's
I know, every mark.
mark.
I'm not opposed to that. I think they're getting really intimate and there's a lot of emotion. And
Well,
there's
yes,
a lot
there was. But boy, they call it tight.
They call it tight.
Is that whatever they call it? I don't know. But boy, I kept thinking, whoa.
So I am midway through episode 7, which is the hour episode. Just like season 3 hour episode of Christmas, this is the hour episode of a wedding.
a lot better. Not as
chaotic.
Not as chaotic.
I will
not
say
chaotic
overall,
at all.
it doesn't. The season doesn't feel as chaotic because
At all.
Carmi has calmed down a little.
Well,
right? His
that's
anxiety.
that's the storyline. Calm.
I want to give a shout out to the music.
I kept thinking, oh my God, this is the best music I have ever heard.
Mom, I love that.
I was thoroughly listening.
I am Shazamming.
I loved it.
every single
It was
song.
really good.
So you're an Apple Music user?
Yes.
Spotify, you could go to the Bear soundtrack. There's going to be the playlist.
It'll be
for you.
there. But then I have to
I
pay
mean-
for Spotify.
No. I'm sure then they must have it on Apple. I won't
I'm
make
sure they
I'm not
do.
gonna. You're
Right.
not going to pay for Spotify. I bet you the Apple has it as well.
Right.
The music. Do you remember how they used to say New York was a character in Sex and the City?
Yes.
I feel like music is a character in the Bear.
The music, I kept thinking, oh, the
You have
music
the Who.
is fabulous.
You've got Led Zeppelin was the opening.
It was
music
really
drop.
good. It was
It's
really
so
good.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's like part of me is like I'm watching like a music video.
It
like,
was very good.
I love the cameos.
Did you know?
Wait, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Wait, episode 3.
Yes.
Gary Janetti, Brad's husband.
Which character did he come on as?
This is not like a spoiler. He came in and he was like, I'm thinking maybe he's like a critic, but he was in the restaurant.
That was the critic.
Don't ruin it for me.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not done.
Okay,
I'm midway through
okay.
episode 7, but he was watching the family where they got the snow for the family.
Right. Right.
Did you know that was, so you didn't know
No,
that was
I did
Gary
not
Janetti?
know. I did
So
not.
here's what's funny. I'm watching this. I'm like, that looks like Gary Janetti, who's a writer.
Right.
Who's married to Brad, who was on Rachel Zoe Project. What's Brad's last name? Goreski. And I was like, let me watch the credits. I just want to confirm. And I watched the credits and it confirmed. But I will say that episode, I believe, I wrote this down, was episode 3, was literally a chapter of Unreasonable Hospitality, the book, which I've spoken about a number of times. Unreasonable Hospitality, the writer of Unreasonable Hospitality is one of the producers of The Bear.
Oh,
And it's
interesting.
about just going out of your way.
And boy, do they go out
And
of
they
their
went
way.
out of their, and that's
Yeah,
what Michelin
Rich-
star
who-
restaurants
is it-
do.
what's his name? Rich? I mean,
Cousin.
who's the cousin.
Yeah, Richie.
Wow, he really.
I mean,
he's
this
like,
is why I love
his
this
brain
show
is
so
going to
much.
sizzle from trying
Wait,
to do
so
the right thing.
Who were you going to ask if I knew? Is it episode 7 cameo or is it another cameo?
It was.
Who? Oh, Rob Reiner.
Yes.
Rob Reiner
When he
is in more than one
yes,
episode.
Yes, he is. And when he first came on, I kept thinking, man looks familiar. It took me a minute. And
Rob
then,
Reiner
Rob
is in
Reiner.
this.
Yes.
He's acted before.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
What an interesting
But I
get.
didn't, but I thought, wow, great for them. They had some really good cameos.
I know, and I'm worried. I'm trying to stay away from reviews because I want to get my own judgment, but I'm worried that they're going to say it's slow, or I just feel like
well,
the show
after
has,
episode 3, I think it moved.
I think it picks up.
Yeah.
It has a lot to live up to. I think
Do we know if this is the last season?
I don't, but apparently, and name drop Dan Brown, he posted that Christopher Storer, I believe is how you say his last name, who's one of the writers and director. who basically is the creator behind the show,
Right.
said there was a 3-season plan for this.
Okay.
And obviously it's done so well now.
Right.
They're past 3 seasons.
Right.
So I don't see this going. I don't know what the finale is. We haven't seen it yet.
We haven't seen it yet.
I do think maybe they should take it to season 5 and be done. I'm worried that if they keep going,
well,
it's not going to
unless
end well.
the last episode, which neither of us have seen now, is like a
Michelin
season
star.
finale. Is it like?
But they haven't announced that this is the last season
Okay.
ever.
Okay.
There's something about this show. I guess it's the acting where they're so in it and they just feel so familiar, and the way they treat, they're just family. Do you know what I mean? They're all like,
Well, that's the whole point.
but they're just, the acting is so good.
It is good. I enjoyed it after episode 3.
All right, that's not a bad
That's
review.
because maybe I was tired. Also, my problem with Hulu now is I have commercials because I'm paying for it myself.
Well-
and I cheaped out.
That's a problem.
It's a big problem. It's like, oh, Hulu.
It's very painful.
Very. And Prime also.
I think you could afford the
I don't want to.
ad-free.
It's just
It's
the
the points.
principle.
It's the principle.
It's the principle. It just pisses
That's really
me
hard
off.
for you, Mom. I'm so sorry.
And the commercials. They come
Grandma
up-
problems,
Oh,
hashtag.
awful.
Luxury problems with the ads. That's rough, Mom.
And the girl Kathy, who was with me last week,
Oh, no.
she texted me. Just started the Bear, and I wrote the Hulu commercials are killing me. She goes, me too, because I'm too. She also doesn't want to pay.
I get it. All of
She
you
doesn't
old
want, we don't want to
people,
pay. We're
I
so
get that.
pissed. Like you're paying for
Now,
streaming.
let me
There
ask
should
you
not
this.
be.
You have cable. So
Yes.
this is technically a show on FX. I wonder if you record it
But
on FX, then you fast forward the commercials.
yeah.
I don't know how this
God,
would work.
I don't even. Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody with
I didn't
cable, let me
realize
know. It's FX, I believe.
It said FX.
It's FX. It's probably
Then why-
airs, but I bet you on FX they're dropping weekly. I don't know.
Maybe, probably. It won't be like the whole thing dropped. But regardless, I'm powering through it and pissed off. But I love, the commercials are made for streaming. They're made for that.
Right.
Which, some
And
of
they're
them are
not
interesting.
as long, right? They're not as
I
long
know.
as a
Well,
typical commercial
each break.
break.
I think they have like 3 commercials out. I don't know why I know that. It
Because
seems
you have
that
to
way.
sit through it. Now but it's funny. I was running 2 Hulus, one from my brother who had ad free, and then one with live which had ads, and I would go back and forth. Like my phone was one version because without ads you could download and I could do on the plane, but I was going back and forth. Now I was like, fuck this, and we pay for our own. We don't have live. It's a whole other story. So yeah, The Bear is a big watch. Everybody on the East Coast, it's cloudy out this weekend.
Perfect.
I think, perfect.
I'm so
perfect
happy.
Viewing.
I'm so happy because something else dropped today, which I have no time to watch.
Let's discuss the big drop of the day.
The
is Squid
Squid.
Game.
And I cannot wait to
Here's
get
my
home.
question for you: Are
Yes.
you now with The Bear? I'm sure you didn't do this. I did post on my Instagram stories a recap of The Bear season 3 because I think the recap is very important.
Which I did not see the recap of The Bear, and truthfully, I kind of forgot who's related to who and
Yeah.
why, and I kind of forgot what happened at the end. At the end, yeah, I forgot.
Right? Like I forgot that they got this review.
Right.
Although I don't know if at the end of last season we saw what the review said. Like it ended where we didn't know if the review is good or bad.
Okay.
Right? But I think a recap is really important. And my question for you is, do you need a Squid Game recap?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe.
Squid Game was also on more recently than The Bear last season.
Absolutely.
But I love a recap, and I will find one for you, and I will send it to you. In
All
fact,
right.
I have a fun idea.
Yes.
After this recording, let's watch a recap.
Of the
I want to
Squid-
watch
of-
more of The Bear, but I do want to watch a recap of Squid Game.
What are you up to? Episode 7?
Of The Bear, yes.
Through 7, or are you
Midway.
starting?
I've got
Okay.
like 20 minutes left of episode 7.
Okay.
In fact, my plan today was to watch
Right.
more. And then tomorrow will be send Lennon on the bus and come home
home
and
and
watch
watch
Squid
Squid Game.
So I watched something else this week, which I was shocked how much I enjoyed it. The Waterfront on Netflix was 8 episodes, running 40 minutes.
It's not
to
40
about
minutes.
42. There was an
they're
episode that was 42 minutes.
Maybe, but-
there
but-
was the last few episodes were 42.
Oh, well,
I just want to put it at this.
I only
way.
tried episode 1. Ugh.
So I just want to preface it with this. The Waterfront, Felicia said, oh, this is going to be like Dawson's Creek. You say that. It's by Kevin Williamson, who did produce
Dawson's Creek.
I don't think this has Dawson's vibes at all. Dawson's
No.
did not have killing.
No, there was
did
no
not have
killing and
murder,
drugs. I know. But
Dawson's was like One Tree Hill. It
You're
was
right,
about college or high school kids. This to me is like more like Ransom Canyon or more like Yellowstone and Landman.
Yeah. I'm tired of that.
Those shows are doing very
I know
well.
they're doing very well. There's all of America. Well, there's all of the world now watching this. It's not just,
The star is Holt. McCallany. And he looked familiar to me.
What was he?
He was in, and I don't think you watched this.
All right, tell me.
He was starred with Jonathan Groff in Mindhunters. That was a show where they interviewed serial killers on Netflix.
But no, I didn't
you
see
didn't do that.
But he did look
he was
familiar.
In Fight Club. He
That was a long time ago.
I know. Like, it's crazy. You guys, watch this show. Another show where I'm not stressed about it, but it went very fast. I finished it in like 2 days, and I watched it on the train. Maria fucking Bello
She looks great.
great.
She does look great.
Her face looks amazing. Did you notice Dave Annabelle? He was in Brothers and Sisters. He actually was in.
He was all. Is he all gray?
He's
all gray.
You will not believe how old he is. I follow him and his wife on
Let me think.
Instagram.
I would assume he's 50 something.
Because of that gray, he's 40 fucking 8. He's really getting typecast because of this gray now.
Yeah, but he could always change that.
I have to give a shout out to my man Topher Grace.
I didn't see. I did not.
This is worth it just for the Topher Grace.
Okay.
I had no idea he was in this show. I wish Casey was here because I have a Topher Grace story. He plays a character that I would never expect him to play.
Yeah.
He plays like a drug lord.
Yeah.
And his character's a little ridiculous, preppy, waspy, like he's so.
Is he the boss? Is he playing
the boss? He's a boss.
Yeah,
and that's not Topher
and you know
Grace.
What? He still looks like a kid.
I know, and I just am I enjoyed Topher Grace.
Well, maybe when everything is over, I'll
He
venture
was
back
so
into.
enjoyable in this.
I'll venture back into.
Okay, so
I don't
lo and
have time.
behold-
I don't have no time.
Casey, if you want to, while you're editing, just like chime in on your mic. When I lived in LA, and when I was dating Casey, I had a friend that I met at HBO in New York. She lived in LA, and her cousin was best friends with Topher Grace. So, and I was hanging out with her. Her name is Rosie. We were hanging out a lot, and to the point where like we hung out with Topher Grace. Like Topher Grace was at a Passover, a very small,
right, I remember
intimate
that. Yes,
Passover.
yes,
I was at
yes.
with Topher Grace. I even went to Topher Grace's house. I partied with him on New Year's Eve once. I think maybe that's where we ended up at his house. Very nice guy. Like, I have nothing bad to say about him. He was very nice. That was like a very funny, wild time. He just was like a normal guy. So, Casey, do you have any memories you want to say about the Passover with Topher?
Oh, Casey was with you with that.
Casey was
of
with
course.
me at that Passover.
Okay.
It was like probably his first Passover.
Probably.
Yes, I remember it well. 'Twas the spring of 2010, and it was indeed my first Passover. We went to a small gathering in West Los Angeles, and there at the table was Mr. Topher Grace. We ate, we drank, we enjoyed the Seder. Then, flash forward about 8 years. I was once again introduced to Mr. Grace by a mutual friend. I told him we had indeed met before. I put together the pieces of the story, and he said, "Yes, I do remember you. We were the only two men there of non-Jewish descent." We paused for a moment, and then we went about our way.
Living in LA,
Right.
people in their like 20s just doing a.
Well, you were in your 30s.
No, Mom, I met Casey at 27. So it's
Okay.
probably like 28.
Right.
I really like the show. I'm assuming it'll get another season. Maria Bello, I just want to give her a minute. Coyote Ugly.
Yes.
So what's funny, it was, spoiler, she and Dave Annabelle have like some tension, but she's like much older than him. And she looks great. She fucking looks great.
She looks great.
She looked good. I like that her son, he's not that famous.
Right.
He had a very familiar vibe. I just thought there were some good.
She kind of didn't look old enough to have that son. The son looked old.
I think she's 58.
Well, she still didn't look old enough to have a son that age. He looked.
You think she's had some work done?
She
Probably
cares?
did
She
because
probably did.
her neck looked a little
She looked-
older than
it
she
doesn't
is.
matter. She looked
This
great.
is my biggest fear. It's the neck. Because
neck.
if you have work on your face and then the neck shows your
I
age,
know. Yeah, and your hands show your age.
and that's what the dermatologist said to me this
Yes,
week.
your
is
hands.
the hands and the neck.
My hands are starting to really
and
look shitty.
No,
they
he
look-
said to me one thing, and this is where you fail:
Yes.
sunscreen on the hands,
I probably
sunscreen
who
on the
knew?
hands and neck.
Well, I'm the generation that sat with sun visors.
Mom, I walked into the dermatologist with an old woman. She was definitely with her daughter. She had to be in her 80s. And she was like, that back in the day, I
Back in the
sat
day,
on the sun.
on the
and
sun. Yes, we used baby oil.
I know.
And,
she said
and everybody,
Mom, she said she used iodine.
iodine in the baby oil.
Iodine.
In the baby oil. So it looks like you have a tan. It's dry.
like brown.
Yes. I never put the iodine in, but
so fucking
many people
wild.
did. And the beach, and I got
And
major
what's
burns
so crazy
then.
is now that because of TikTok and the skincare obsession, I'm hoping, and I do believe teens and girls in their 20s are now obsessed with sunscreen because they know now.
I hope so too.
There's so much preventative
and
skincare.
everybody, all of you was starting, to take care of your skin at a much earlier age.
But I still fucked around. Like I went in college, I was doing
my
tanning
mother
beds.
never sat in the sun. Never, ever, ever.
That's
and she
wild.
had really good skin up. And I mean, she passed away. She was in her 90s. But she
never sat in the sun?
Ever, no.
But
Nope.
were people her age sitting in the sun then? Because they didn't know.
I'm sure they were, but my mother was she took me.
What made her not sit in the sun?
She just hated the sun. And somehow she was always either under an umbrella or obviously you had
It was
to sit in
like
the
she was
shade.
Asian. She walked around with an umbrella.
Right. That's true. That's why they all have such good skincare.
This is wild. I didn't realize this.
If we had time today, I was going to say, let's go to Ulta and pick me out some Peach and Lily product. If we had time today.
I do love Ulta.
But yes.
There's a new Ulta in Oceanside, Mom.
Yes,
and
there
I
is.
got to tell you.
I know. That's where I wanted
It puts
to go.
Sephora to shame. There's
I
a
know.
goddamn hair salon in there.
I know.
They have so many hair products. They have a ton. They have like a
Boy,
pharmacy.
we got sidetracked.
Yeah, I wasn't in the mood for shopping because I really wanted to watch
Well, no,
The
I
Bear.
know that. I know that. That's why I didn't push it.
Thanks, Mom. I really appreciate
Right.
that. Did you watch anything else this week? Talk about Asians and their skincare. Did you watch anything Korean? Let's give her a Korean moment. Do you want to look at your phone? Any notes?
No, I didn't. I meant to put notes down this morning, and I just got away from me. All right, so I started watching something called Good Boy on Prime, and it's with Park Bo Gum, who basically all of Korea love, and anybody who knows him, he's absolutely fabulous. So I'm watching that. That's only dropping 1 or 2 episodes. I think it's 2 episodes a week, Prime. And of course, with the commercials, it's killing me. When I look through my feed on whether it's Facebook or Insta or TikTok, my whole feed is Korean. I mean, it's Asian. When all they do is talk about all these shows. And that's how I know what's on and where.
Talk about Prime. I had a listener text me by the name of Beth. And she said, you have to watch We Were Liars on Amazon
Yeah,
Prime.
somebody said it was very good. I haven't. I mean, I don't have the time. I cannot.
Who's somebody who said it was good?
Who said it? Somebody at
I watched a trailer and it's giving me all the vibes of the rich family.
Right. Okay.
Dynasty, all this stuff.
I'm kind of, maybe I'm over all those type of shows.
Maybe you are.
And maybe that's why I tend to stay away from them.
Interesting, Mom.
Because in the 80s, we had Dynasty and basically.
No, but were there shows in the 80s, there's a lot of drugs in these shows. There was a little bit of an Ozark vibe.
Right.
With the Waterfront.
Yes.
But nowhere near as good.
I know.
It feels, I guess it's like 20 plus years ago we had the Dawsons and remember that era of just teeny boppy.
Yeah, but
One Tree Hills. But now it's like.
But
this era
also
of
you
all
forget
these-
there was also Dallas and.
But those
was that the 70s?
Dallas?
Dynasty,
I know,
Dallas.
but that wasn't the 80s.
I'm not sure if it was probably the 80s, and that's what I watched.
I just don't think
Which
that's
was
in the
more
same
adult
I don't
than
think it's in the
Dawson's
same
Creek or all
category.
that. But anyway, I'm over
She's over it.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Well-
It's like I can't watch about these families anymore. That's what it is. It's family based, which is lovely, but it's always drug based. Or the head honcho is needs money,
greed,
right?
power.
They're going to lose,
So
or
much
they're going to
killing.
lose something.
So much killing.
Right?
Guns.
Yeah, well, it's the world we live in.
Anything else you watched?
Well-
any movies?
No, I did watch the thing on Netflix about the cruise ship.
No way! You watched the poop cruise? Stop it right now! I wish Lennon was here to give us a review.
Oh my God! Yes.
What made you watch Trainwreck Poop Cruise?
I was quick. And
quick. It was 55 minutes of perfection. I posted, I told everybody, this is family viewing. This is a great thing to watch with the family.
I don't know anybody would get on another cruise after watching that.
You guys,
including me.
Between the Titanic and the poop cruise, Lennon was like, first of all, I will say this. I don't know where Lennon's getting this, but he heard that it's the Royal Caribbean, right? Carnival? What was it?
Carnival.
He heard, he's like, I'll never go on a Carnival cruise. I'm like, I'll never go on any cruise now.
yeah,
I don't want to ever.
Ever.
It was
They
wild.
were stuck in the middle of.
Casey's like, I would have done so well on this cruise. If it was just
Why?
Lennon and I, like, we would have really made the best of it. I'm like,
no,
Casey,
you wouldn't have. No, you
that's
wouldn't have.
ridiculous.
That was awful. He doesn't know what it's like. He has no idea really what it's like.
The small spaces, the
Right.
amount of people.
You can't sleep in your cabin.
The fact that Casey goes, that would have been me carrying the mattress like up because
Right.
I'm so hot.
Right.
I have no problem though pooping in a bag. And I don't think I would have pooped in the bag. I would have pooped somewhere and then picked it up like it was dog shit. But
Stop it.
It was more so the smell. And by the way, how there were no fights. That no fights broke out. Nobody died. Nobody got sick.
But they did say that there was a lot of fighting. There was maybe not fist fighting, but there was a lot of yelling.
Fighting for the lounge chairs.
Right.
I could
Fighting.
not get over this.
Yeah, no.
I found it very
4,000 people.
3,000.
No, 4,000.
Too many people. Too many fucking people.
Yeah.
Too many
I mean,
people.
when I went to Greece, that was only a small.
I
was
said
a little
to
over 100
Casey,
people.
The only way I would ever do a cruise,
right?
If it's what Felicia did at Greece,
Right, can't compare.
Like high end luxury.
But some of the cruise ships are high end luxury, but the ones that have 3,000, 4,000 and
They
up
aren't.
are awful.
And you said the bathrooms are like so small. And
Very
what about
small.
the fact that like they couldn't even see where they were going to the bathroom? Like with the poop cruise.
No,
Like the lights go off.
Yeah, no, it's awful. It was awful.
I did like who they got to interview. Like they got the 3 women that were on the bachelorette party.
Right.
The guy who was there with his in-laws who was very funny.
He was funny.
He was a character.
then
And then
the,
the father and
with
daughter.
his daughter,
And
yeah.
the father, you could see, man, he carried some guilt with him. He felt real bad.
I think he took it a little too personal. It
And
wasn't
let's
his
discuss
fault.
I thought they were all gonna make out and get lots of money. But they did.
Well, they got a free
not.
cruise. Oh, let's all run for another free cruise. Not.
They got a free.
I think they got their money back.
They got their money back,
Right,
and
they got
$500 fucking dollars,
which is bull.
That is not.
We
the
got
trauma.
$500 back last year, by the way, from Tauk, just because they didn't make a stop.
Really?
Something on the itinerary was supposed to go to Santorini, and for whatever reason, they didn't.
That was her cruise line.
Yes, because we didn't stop, they sent us a $500 voucher, which of course I'm using for Portugal.
Because you're using the same
Tour operator, Tauk,
Okay.
Tauck.
shout out.
Shout out.
Wow, I'm blown away that you watched the poop cruise.
I did.
What made you watch it?
Because I knew it was a fast watch, and I figured that this has got to be hysterical.
I'm so proud of you.
And it was. I can't get invested in something that's like, 10 episodes this was quick.
Did you watch any?
I wanted to watch the Barbara Walters special
I
on
would watch
Hulu.
that. Yeah.
But again, the commercials, and I just didn't have a chance because
no,
I was
Mom.
trying to watch The Bear.
I think it's worth maybe changing for 1 month. No ads, then change.
You know
back.
what happens? I'm not good at change.
You're not good at change.
I don't know how,
You're not good at change.
No, I'm not good at doing the change myself. I'm fine with
Yeah.
change. I just, if I have to,
I know. I'll have to
if
do it
I
for
have to
you.
plug it in or do something with a password, I'm screwed.
I mean, it's been such a busy week of watching. I didn't get to any of my weeklies, and I'm fine with that. Like, I'm over Stick. If I never see another episode of Stick, that's Owen Wilson's show about golf
Oh, I wouldn't even bother with
on
that.
Apple, I don't have to watch that again. I'll just like that in nine. Oh, another show I'm ready to give up.
What?
That I just don't give a shit about. 9 Perfect Strangers.
I gave
Gave
that up. Yeah,
it's
I was
not
done.
good this season. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, I knew. I was like, all right.
It's not good.
I'm not liking her character at all, Nicole Kidman.
It's not her. It's the whole fucking storyline.
well, it's not her fault. It's not her fault. I mean, she's only doing.
I don't like what they did with it.
I don't like it.
Maybe it
I
should have
didn't
just
like
been
it.
one mini series and call it a fucking day.
Yeah.
They really
One and done.
ruined this. Yeah, I'm not happy. I still have to watch The Valley, and Next Gen is on Bravo is pure background. But for Bye Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
For our Bye Felicia
Yes.
segment.
Yes.
I can't believe this. I have no notes for Bye Felicia. So it's literally just gonna be Squid Game. I think with the holiday coming up, the 4th of July, maybe there's no big shows premiering this week.
Maybe.
And I'm fine with that.
Also, because the weather was so hot and gorgeous on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I was at the pool all day. And I'd wait all year to go to the pool. And we sit in the water like a bunch of old ladies. And it was fabulous. The pool was like a bath. Literally, it was so
And now you've got 3 days of
fabulous.
not pool weather.
Right, which is why I'm going to devote to the Squid Game.
I do want to go. I mean, it's going to be on Apple, but I do want to see the Brad Pitt movie F1.
I want to see F1 also, actually. After spending a few days with Craig and their family, her father, they know everybody in that racing world because it takes, I think,
Craig's wife, Felicia's son.
Craig and his in-laws, the boys love F1. And when I was there, was it last week? I don't think they were watching it. It was
were
really
they watching?
terrific. Not the movie, but the race itself.
Racing. All right.
Yes.
So maybe
which
you'll go to
takes
the
place
movies?
somewhere in Canada.
Do you want to go to the movies on Sunday with me
To see what? Oh,
to see F1?
maybe.
Okay, maybe.
Oh,
Well,
it's,
guys,
it's out this week. It came out today.
Yeah, I think it's out.
Okay.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks. Share like love.
Bye.
My Felicia, bye Felicia.